You're listening to the Comic Crusaders podcast. I am your host, Al Mega, CEO of Comic Crusaders and Undercover Capes. In this show, I'm sitting down with creators from all walks of life to talk about inspiration, process, the lessons they've learned, and a whole lot more.
Wepa! What up, mi gente? It's your boy Al Mega. Welcome to a brand new Comic Crusaders podcast. And today, we have an amazing actor and producer on deck. Hey, oh my gosh. You may have seen him in some shows in the past, like The Ottoman Lieutenant, you know what I mean? And Leap Mitch. I hope I'm saying that right. Then Karaba, but most important, my man is involved what will be the Christmas time hit movie. I'll tell you right now, there's going to be one of those movies dropping this winter. I mean, I know you guys have seen the trailer and were extremely floored by it. I'm talking about Kraven the Hunter, and we have one of Kraven's, lackeys here, if you will. As about to hang out with us and talk about the film, his journey, and all, and introduce the amazing, the one, the only, Mr. Murat Sievin. Hey, how you doing?
Hello. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for hanging out today to talk about your journey and your role in this upcoming smash hit of a movie that I know is only going to just further excel your career because you're already smashing it. You know, I was trying to show you I could be in the green room if I could be an action film star. You know, I don't got the moves like you, though. You know, I can't wait to see what's popping because you're going to be talking about this. So before, let's reel it back before everybody gets all crazy. Folks, please ask questions. I mean, Kraven will be the. I know y'all seen that trailer. You know, there ain't no messing around, and it's gonna be a fire flick. And my man has a part in that. He has a role, so we're gonna be talking about that. So, Murat, let's step it back before all of that. A bit about yourself. Where you originally from, and most importantly, what was the first thing in fandom overall that you, as an individual, ever fell in love with?
So, I'm originally I was born in Berlin. Okay. My parents immigrated. I think my father immigrated end of 70s from Turkey, from the east side of Turkey to Germany, and and then he got married and brought my mom as well. So my father is a Turkish immigrant, but he has Kurdish roots, and I'm basically a Kurd living in Berlin and born and raised.
All right, bet. So, as a kiddo, what was the first thing you fell in love with in fandom? Was anything, were you a fan of anything as a kid that sparked your interest? What was the first thing, whether you found it on your own or what was presented to you by someone?
Well, I have to be honest. Like my father was a fan of Bud Spencer and Terence Hill, if you remember.
What was that?
Bud Spencer and Terence Hill. Those Italo-Western characters.
Oh, really? Well, my father would be more familiar with that than I.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, then that's more a European thing, maybe. It was two guys who smashed people and who just got in trouble and get out of trouble and stuff like that. It's just funny to watch. But as I grow up and started being into film and stuff, it was my heroes are Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. That's my heroes. That's those who I grew up with. That's films like The Godfather or Heat or so many, Casino.
What was the first movie you remember watching, Al and then Robert in?
I think with Al, it was actually The Godfather.
Okay.
The first and the second part. And with Robert De Niro, oh man, that's a good question. That was so many years ago, but I think first I saw Raging Bull.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Great movie.
Yeah, that was the first thing, and I was just smashed. Like I was like how does he do that? Like, those ideas that you have as a kid when you see a character and you think, oh, they are actually like what they play.
Yeah.
You don't believe that these are like real humans, that they are living normal lives and they have normal troubles like you. You think this is just them. Al Pacino is just the Godfather, and Robert De Niro is just the criminal in Heat and stuff. And then later on, when really got into it when I got into acting school. I learned they just use their own feelings and project them into the characters they play, and that was the fascinating thing for me to do, and that felt right, and that felt interesting, and that felt almost like, love in a way.
Okay.
I don't want to sound cheeky, but it feels like, when you do something passionately, it must be somehow like, some kind of love into it.
Oh, it is. Oh, it is. It is. It's a very personal love. I'm passionate about what I do, and
Exactly.
many people don't get why I enjoy it. I do. It's my own personal thing, like love. No one knows why you love something, right, or someone. But mind your business. You tell them, and you let me be.
Maybe it's exactly that. Sorry, it's exactly that. You just go for it. You just invest a lot of time in it that you could invest somewhere else for fun or whatever. But you just invest in it. You go to take those classes, and you work on your body. You work on your mind. You read things. You watch movies all over again, and series, and this must be somehow like, passionate, and that and love must be in it. So otherwise you wouldn't do it, I think.
So when did you fall in love and knew that this is something you wanted to do with your life? Then what was that moment that said, okay, I want to do this? Was there maybe a moment, a particular movie?
For me, as a child of an immigrant, it wasn't really a real thing to become an actor. I was watching those movies, and I was like, no, that's something for for the riches, and for those who I don't know, are from a artist family, or who had fathers who were producers or directors. So that was a very distant dream that I had. But when I attended the acting school, like the first day I was there, for me, staying on the stage and just saying what you have to say, that felt real. That felt like, to work with your own feelings on something. That was always I think that was always my goal. I was always a guy who was like very, let's say, physical. In school, for example, I couldn't sit still on my chair. I was just moving around all the time and talking to people. That was actually, for my teachers, that was bad. I got, noticed on my on my student book, but when I started with the acting school, it just felt like love. It just felt like destiny. It felt like, this is what I wanted to do. Like I went to school even earlier than I had to, like an hour before or 2 hours before.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because I wanted to prepare myself.
What a nerd going to school early. Look at this guy.
Yeah, I mean, in normal school, like primary or all the other schools I went to, I was always late, kind of. I was always late. I was sleeping at school. I wasn't really interested.
Yeah.
Just learning things that you not really interested in is
some mundane shit that you're never going to use in the future anyway.
I mean, how many things that we learn in school do we actually use? That's just sometimes too much.
Yeah.
That was my starting point, like in acting school. I was like, okay, this is the right place to be for me. This is the right place, and I want to go for it.
So how long was that journey like while you were in the school and learning the craft? And how was that like? When did you study particularly?
I studied from 2002 to 2005, so it was almost like 20 years ago, 19 years ago now.
Oh wow, okay. The age is so look at it. My God, it sounds like a long time.
It sounds like 20 years. If you say it like that, it sounds like forever, kind of. But I mean, yeah, that was 2005, and I got my first job on stage in 2006.
Oh, cool. How was that like? I mean, was it nerve-wracking when you got that opportunity?
Yeah, of course it was. I mean, playing for the first time in front of a big audience, and not only your own students and teachers. It was like really, I mean, I was nervous, but still, that was what I wanted. Like, I wanted to stay on that stage and tell the people what I have to tell.
You ate it up when they was over there enjoying your performance, or did you stumble on that first one? What was that first ride like? Did you feel that it went perfect? Were there any errors? Did you?
No, of course not. No. I thought I was terrible. I thought I was just, I was fucking it up. I'm sorry.
No, you it is an adult podcast.
Yeah, I thought I was fucking it up. Man. Honestly, I thought I was so bad and so. But that's the thing with acting. Sometimes I remember Robert De Niro said one time, even if you think, sometimes you think, even when you're filming, and even he said in his age, he still feels like that when he says the line, or when he does a scene and the director says cut, yeah, that's it, and he doesn't feel it. He thinks that was wrong, that was completely wrong. But sometimes when you feel that wrong, it's actually perfect. It's actually what it meant to be. And I have to be honest, with all my experience on the stage, I'm doing stage plays now for 19 years since I graduated. It was always like, if when I felt I did good, it wasn't really. But when I felt, no, I fucked it up, they were like, wow, that was perfect. Because I think this is because of life is not perfect. Life has flaws. And if people see that, it's not they see it, they just see themselves. They see a character which, isn't perfect. And that's why they can relate to it, and that's why they like it. It's like with movies. When you see a character, playing just straight and nice and looking good and stuff, you don't really relate to him, right? You can't really go with him with his feelings, and you don't go with him on a journey. But if you see a character who struggles, who shows you that he has weaknesses and strengths, and he fails and stands up and goes on, then you relate to him, because this is life. This is life.
I'm really laughing because the way you said, when you think you got it right, you got it wrong, and when you think you got it wrong, you got it right. So what that proves to me is that men's intuition is absolutely horrible, and women's intuition tends to be on the money, because when they get nervous or wrong, when they say, oh no, I got that, they're opposite of us, to be honest. They get it on the money, we tend to get it wrong. So guys, what that means is if you think you got it, no, you didn't. You better work hard.
I don't know. I don't want to speak for all the people in the world, but like for me, it's that way. It always.
Me too, though. When I think
some people they just feel it right, and then it is right. That's perfectly fine for me. But in my case, that's not the case. It's most of the time it's the opposite.
All right, man. So talk to me about this journey. Then you got that first stage opportunity. You did well. So, what was like your first on camera opportunity like, and how different is that from stage, if at all?
So my first experience on camera was actually during my acting classes. I produced a film with a friend of mine. We just put in a couple of bucks, and we met a producer team, and they wanted to do something as well. So we got together, we wrote a script, and then we just shot it. It was a short movie called Little Fishes, a story about some small criminal guys trying to do a job and fail. And that was my first experience on camera. I think the difference between being on stage and being on camera is filming is there's a lot of technical stuff involved. There's a lot of, not only the cameras and the lighting, and people come and put mics on you and makeup and stuff like that. It's not only that, it's also like most of the time you just shoot 1 minute or 2 minutes max. If it's a monologue, maybe 4 or 5 minutes. But most of the time it's just small shots, and you have to always be like, some actors, they just choose to stay in the character. Some actors, they just they don't like that. They just get in and out and in and out. And for me, being on stage feels more real in a sense, if you know what I mean. If I'm able to stay in the character for a period of 2 hours, then I really get a sense of myself, my character, my other colleagues. And the reactions of the audience, which is another difference. You get immediate reaction. When I'm shooting a film, sometimes the period till the film gets released is like 1 year or 2 years.
Okay.
So you are the film is shot and done, and you do a lot of other projects in between till it gets out and released, and it feels like far away. It feels like as if you had done something ages ago, and now it actually comes out, and now you see the reactions from the audience. Whereas on stage, it is just immediate. You get immediately a reaction.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, how many times have I saw someone, let's say, I'm doing a play, a very hard play about like immigrations and stuff, and it is a tough topic. And I see, let's say, there was one incident where I saw a woman just yawning like that. You know what I mean? And you see it as an actor. You just see it. You can't ignore it. You see it. And in that moment, you know, you can decide whether to react to it. And it's still, you know, that still is the right thing to do. You can react to it.
Yeah.
You can actually, when you're on the stage, you can react to that. Whereas on film, it's a bit hard, you know, to react to someone who does something behind the camera, let's say. I
mean, you can't be in every single movie theater talking about and watching everybody see who yawns.
Exactly, and that's a good thing. I think there's advantages and disadvantages in both of them. I like the immediate reaction, but I also like the technical possibilities that you have on film. Like you can just add so many things that you can't do on stage. It's whether it's sound, whether it's, you know, the coloring. You can go darker, you can go lighter. You can just zoom in and be very close to someone's eyes and really see all the feelings. Whereas on stage, I mean, if a guy sits 15, 20 meters away from me, he maybe doesn't really get touched by my performance. You know what I mean? It's more, maybe stage is a bit more superficial for the audience, but more real for me. Whereas film is feels more technical to me than to the audience. And that makes sense.
So how much fun have you had filming though? Because again, you know, I checked you an Ottoman Lieutenant. Well, what was that all about? How did you land that opportunity?
That was actually a movie about the period in Turkey, like 1950, 1915, when the Ottoman Empire started to fall apart, and the colonial powers like England and France started to invade the country. And it's about the Armenian massacres, basically.
Gotcha. And you worked, I mean, but you worked with a legend like Ben Kingsley, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I haven't met Ben Kingsley on that, but yeah, he was in the film as well. And
that's dope, man. I mean, that must have been dope. And then, you know, again, look at this, you know, Undercover, you know,
yeah, Undercover. That was really a good
family. And talk about that. I mean, you know, with that history, you're playing now. You know, you're talking about you're like Al Pacino and De Niro. Now you're playing the head of a Turkish, your own type of gangster. How was that? I mean,
that was such a great experience. That was actually a very funny experience as well, because, you know, when the casting director is Sienne Josephine. She is a Belgian casting director, and she wrote a mail to me saying, "Could you please tape for this?" And she sent me the text, and I was like, "Okay, this text is in English." And she said to me, "Could you?" I remember she said, "Could you do it?" Could you? No, she just said, "Could you translate it?" And I thought, okay, she wants me to translate it into Turkish. So I did that. I did it in Turkish, and I sent it to her. And then she was like, "No. I meant, could you translate it into Flammic, which is the Belgian language?"
Yeah.
And I was like, no, because I'm not Flammic. I can't speak Belgium. And she was like, no, don't worry, just do it. I was like, oh, okay, how am I going to do it? Google Translate? No. So my sister lives in Amsterdam, and I asked her husband to do the translation. Yeah. And he did it, but he did it on Dutch. So I sent it in, and she was like, no, that was Dutch. You should do it in Flaming. And I was like, come on, man. I don't know anybody in Flaming.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? It's not even my language. I can't speak it. And she was like, don't worry. It's okay. And then she taped, she recorded actually the lines for me in Flaming. And I was then doing that. Anyway, fast forward. I got a call a week later from the director saying, man, I want you for the role. And I was like, okay, Like I want to do, but what do you think? How's it gonna work? Like I don't speak that language. Like I don't know it at all. And he was like, don't worry about that. We're going to give you a coach. We're going to give you lessons, and you just memorize the lines, and then if necessary, we do the rest on the ADR, like afterwards.
Oh my God! There's like those Japanese salsa singers. They can't speak the language, but they can sing the language because they learned the words. Oh,
and not only that, it was 70% of my lines was in that language.
Yeah,
I kind of felt insecure. I kind of felt like, no, I can't do that. You know, I mean, if any Flemish person is going to see that, if any Belgian is going to, he's going to laugh at me. He's going to, you know, he's going to make fun of me. What is he talking about there?
Yeah.
And then, but the director, Joel, what his name? He actually was convinced that I am the best choice for that part. So I trusted him. I just trusted him and said, okay, I'm going to put my career in your hands. And I'm just going to go for it because the character was so interesting. A guy who happened to have an accident, who is head of a crime family, a Turkish crime family, and who happened to have an accident during a deal he was doing, and he got shot in the back, and he ends up in a wheelchair, and he decides to just stay at home, and his wife takes over, and then there is this, you know, he as a man, Turkish man, he's proud and stuff like that, gets in his way and in his between his love, his wife and him, and then it starts spinning around. You know, she is having contact with an undercover agent, and my character thinks she is betraying him, and then it all ends up basically in a final, which is pretty. I mean, it's a really good series. Not only the season I was in, but all the 2 seasons before as well. It's a really interesting series.
I gotta check this out. It does sound. I love me some gangster stuff, and I gotta see you. Cause again, you already knowing your inspirations. I gotta see how you pull it off, especially not knowing this. I gotta see you in action now. Now, talk about action, man. You are about to be in what will be the blockbuster of the holidays. And Kraven the Hunter, folks, it is dropping on the big screen December 13th, baby. So, big on me. First of all, are you even a comic book fan? Talk to me about that side of you. Are you a pop culture fan that way? Was this something new to you when it was introduced? Talk to me on that first.
I'm a comic fan since I'm a child. Like, I mean, every child. It's like Spider-Man. I grew up with Spider-Man. I grew up with He-Man and Batman and all those characters. I even remember seeing Tim Burton's Batman first, you know.
I saw that in the movie theaters, man. They blew up fireworks inside a theater that happened.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'm a huge comic fan. I mean, the MCU universe got really big, no? I mean, it's really huge now. I actually lost the overview. I lost the overview. Who is who now, and who is whose universe now, and who's this? You know, so many universes. But Kraven the Hunter is not really in that universe. It's a standalone movie.
Yeah,
it's just him. You know, it's just him and his journey, and no other characters are involved, basically. Although, you know, I mean, MCU fans know that Kraven is set in the Spider universe. He is the main enemy of Spider-Man. But in our movie, we start with him alone. And it's just...
Before any drama came into being.
Before any drama came into being.
He's just... with Spider-Man.
yeah, I know. No, he's
there.
It's just incredible. Aaron Taylor Johnson is just amazing. I mean, his physics, his play is just, you know, he just fits in. And I had 2 scenes with him.
Oh, cool.
I had 2 scenes with him, action scenes. But it was really cool. It was really.
So how was that? How did you even land this wonderful opportunity to be on such a cool film? I mean, how did it happen? And how did you feel when it came?
Actually, it was really conventional. It was just a casting. I recorded a tape. The casting came in to my agent, Olga Charla at Actors Garden, and they asked me for a tape, and it was like an untitled Sony project. They are really secretive with that. I had to sign an NDA and all that, and I sent in the tape, and it was more like a it was more like an action scene, and I was like jumping around and slamming myself against the walls and stuff.
Word.
Yeah, I didn't really get the scene. I didn't really know what that was. I just knew I'm getting beaten up, and it turns out that was actually Craven beating me up, basically, in that scene. Then when we shot the movie, I recorded the tape, I sent it in, and I got the job. It was amazing. I was like, wow. Okay. I was like, just wow.
You're like, that's it?
That's it. Really, it's just really that's it. There's nothing mystical about it. There's nothing. I was just sending in a tape, and they just choose me. I mean, I was incredibly lucky. It was so lucky.
All right. So once you knew, like, hardcore, this was for Craven the Hunter. I mean, did you do a deep dive? Did you know who Craven was in advance?
Actually, I didn't got really into the MC universe to knew who Craven was, but then, of course, when I got the job, I started researching about Craven the Hunter. My character is actually a character who is, I think, I mean, I'm not an expert in it. I think your fans know it better, but I think my character Omer Aksoy is not really in the books. He is just the producers and the writers, they just add him to it. And I just researched my own character. He is a kidnapper for hire. He is, he works for the Rhino. And he is doing basically, you can hire him to kidnap someone. And he has his team, and he works from.
He is one of the dirty boys in the Marvel universe.
Always the dirty boys, eh? I don't know why, man.
Get that money, and I love it. You're a gangster. So you get it. I can't, that's what I'm saying. I think this is why I think this is going to be such a fun movie. This is a villainous ass movie. I'm a villains fan. And again, I hear people complaining, why are we giving villains such redemption stories? Because not all villains are wrong. Good and bad is in the eye of the beholder, my folks. And with that, here's a dope story. You got great, villains. We're building the Sinister Six in this universe, bro. Like, bro, I mean, no, not a spoiler, but, are we going to get more of your character maybe throughout the universe that's happening? I mean, what's the potential here? What's going on? Can you tease anything?
I can't really answer that question, and I'm so sorry. I can't really answer that question because then I will reveal something, and then I'm getting in trouble.
All right, yeah. There we go. Well, folks, this is why you gotta watch the movie. Nothing's gonna pop up,
and then we can talk.
How much fun? I mean, your time on set. Like, how much time did you spend on set doing your portion of the film?
I had 18 shooting days.
Oh, 18. Is that typical?
Well, most of the shooting days were action scenes, and action scenes is a lot of work to do. We shot one chasing scene with a car. There's a chasing scene with a car, and Craven is involved, and we shot it over a period of 14 days. Just like, I think it's 4 minutes or 5 minutes in the movie, and we shot it in 14 days, basically. Gotcha. Like with some off days in between. But that was my 14 days with the stunt team, and another 4 days with JC and Fred Hershinger and
great.
And Aaron Taylor.
Great segue into my next question involving the physicality of your role in the film. I mean, are you like 100% doing your own stunts and like, moves?
Yeah, I was doing all the stunts. Let's say the car chasing scene, I was doing them all by myself. I was sitting I'm sitting in that scene in the passenger seat, and of course there's a stunt driver. But
still, for dear life, bro,
the stunt driver didn't care if I'm an actor or a stuntman. He just went for it. He just went for it. He just did the craziest stuff. I remember one time he was like passing a car so closely that I was really scared, and I was like screaming, "Shit!"
You're like, yo, chill.
And the stunt director just took that scene. She was like, "Yeah, that was it. I needed that."
Like pure fear, folks. We're gonna get pure fear.
Pure fear. I promise. I was so scared. It was so close, and he was just chilled. He was like, "Yeah, that was good. That was good."
Yeah. I'm good, right? It didn't mean I'm good. I
didn't
just
sign for this. I wasn't trained for this. No, that's fine. No, I said it. I said beforehand. I said to the producers that I want to do as much as I can on my own. Is if this is like insurance-wise possible, I would do it on myself.
Oh,
and some scenes were like secure enough. I'm just, I was just scared. That's it. But it was all secure. All the other drivers were stunt drivers, and they just used to all this stuff. And I was just the rookie, the scared rookie.
Yeah, bro, but I'm sure you're gonna murder this. I'm excited, man, because I know everybody's excited for the movie again. We need one of those holiday hits. I've seen those trailers. I would show it, but then they would spank me and immediately give me those snips on YouTube. But it's all right. I'll share it within the post on ComicCrusaders.com so you can check out the trailer from the official page. I don't want to get in trouble, all right? Because I want to make sure that everybody hears from my man right here. Because obviously I got just two more questions here. I don't want to take too much more of your time because I know the movie is dropping December 13th. How's the tour look like for you? Where are you going to be making any appearances at? If anybody wants to meet you, are you doing anything for the circuit on this?
I'm going to be at the premiere in New York on the 10th.
Hey, New York City. Where's the premiere at in New York?
Where's the premiere?
Remember the Lincoln Square? Is it Times Square? Where are we going?
I think it's in Manhattan, definitely.
It's 3rd Street. They talk to me. I want to go. I want to go. Man, I want to say where up? You be like Marat be looking like, oh, there goes Al. That'd be my ass.
Lincoln Square, actually. I'm just checking it. It's at the AMC Lincoln Square.
Oh, Lincoln Square. I went there to see. Got to go to the Scream red carpet, and I got to meet all the beautiful actors and actresses from that film. I hope I could go to this one. That would be dope, man. And be a part. I really want to see this movie, man. And me and you, and the energy you're coming with, shit. I'm
there from the 9th till the 12th. I'm in New York, and I'm going to be at the premiere. So, but nice to see you there, man.
Oh man, that'll be dope, man. And what's next for you, my brother? Outside Craven, and again, Craven is dropping again December 13th, folks. So you better get them tickets, make it rain. Mi gente, you get your significant other. There's a beautiful date night movie. You know what I mean? You're gonna have some fun, with some adrenaline. It's gonna be dope.
I'm going to be on stage next. I'm going to be. I'm trying to be on stage like once a year. It's just like a workshop, basically a 6-week paid workshop for me. I'm going to be on stage in a small village called Ingolstadt here in Germany. I'm going to be there for 2 months, and the premiere is 8th of February. And till then, it's the premiere and holidays basically.
There we go. You better check out and support. If you want to know and stay tuned, you got to follow my big homie on Instagram, Murat_7. But listen, it's SE, the number 7 EN. All right, mi gente. It's also in the show notes. I make your life easier, right? But this is the most biggest part. You want to see my man in action, kicking ass out there, all right, alongside one of our favorite villains in the Spider-Man universe. Watch Craven the Hunter, what is dropping on the big screen, baby, December 13th for Sony Pictures, man. A big salute to you, my brother. I appreciate your time. A big blessing to see you on this journey.
Thank you.
From a fan to a dude like you that's kicking ass, and looking to do some great things. Let's go, baby. Hey, let's make it.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Woo! All right, that's Murat. It's Al Mega. Check out Comic Crusaders. Check out Murat. You know what it is. Craven the Hunter, December 13th. Wepa!
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Comic Crusaders podcast. If you like the content, please subscribe and turn on notifications. Also, please visit ComicCrusaders.com and our extended podcast family over at UndercoverCapes.com. And also, make sure to download the Comic Crusaders app on the Google Play Store today.